Cam, when we're talking underdogs, boy, it's hard to go past that 2020 Queensland side. I think as a New South Welshman, when the headline read the worst Queensland team ever, I think everyone south of the border started to get a little nervous.
Yeah, I think it was a bit interesting with obviously the comments that were made. We were lucky enough to have Wayne Bennett and Mel Meninga, both guys that have been in the game a long time. And I think for us, when we walked in the camp, looking at all the players, I know a lot of blokes had a lot of question marks on themselves, and I'm sure that's the reason why a lot of critics had a go at us. But in saying that, I think Wayne done a really good job that series. He put all the posters of everyone's comments in the room, especially in our team room. I think that's one of the reasons why he got a lot out of us.
We know there's a challenge in front of us, but you know that's what it's all about. And that's what Origin's all about. Going into a game where sometimes no one gives you a chance to win him. So, you know, we'll be the same old Queensland team running on the footy field and giving our best.
You mentioned Wayne, like no one can galvanise a side like Wayne Bennett can, particularly when it's backs to the wall stuff. Yourself, Daly, Cherry Evans, these type of guys seem to thrive in that underdog environment. Is that how it felt?
I think, as you know, Mick, I was very confident going into that series, only because we won the 2020 Premiership with the Storm that year, and I guess I just took the confidence into that game. But I didn't have a really good first half in Adelaide, and I remember walking into the sheds and had a little bit of a chip on my shoulder and thinking that I was doing all right. But Wayne pretty much put me on show in front of all the boys and kind of just questioned and said, "Are you even out there tonight, Munster? Like, I haven't seen you out there at all. Have you played yet?" So I think that really lit a fire in my belly at half time, and went out there and obviously scored my first ever Origin try. Got pretty lucky there, but I just think it really drove me to go pretty much stuff you, Wayne. Like, I'm here in the team. I'm not going anywhere. So and I think he just got the best out of his players and the motivation to obviously prove everyone wrong, like I spoke about. And that was probably the one reason why we come back in that game in Adelaide, was just the fire in the belly that Wayne put into me.
I tell you what, Wayne Bennett has sprayed that little bit of magic dust from 2001. He's just blossomed it all over his young rookies tonight because they played out of their skin.
Game 2, I played out there for 2 minutes and I got concussed obviously against Fazell with that kick, and all week Alfie was giving it to me and saying that I was 2-minute noodles, calling me Maggie. So yeah, I feel like they've done a really good balance and found a way of motivating players in different parts of the week. And a little bit of the driving factor for myself as well as my wife's mum was, it was her last ever Origin game, and there was at Suncorp, and I was lucky enough to win the Wally Lewis medal. So she's seen our last rugby league game with a medal around my neck, and I know it's probably a bit of a cliche, but yeah, it's one of those things that I feel like the stars aligned for myself as well.
Well, we achieved something similar in 2001. We brought Alf back for that third game, and I think the key to us tonight was getting Munster back on the field for this game. And we didn't have to bring him from England, we just had to make sure his head was okay.
When you think of the actual Aussie way, you think the Queensland spirit, that's what we always hear at Origin time, they're never dead Queensland. Take us into that inner sanctum. What is it about, what's instilled as you as a Queenslander that gives you that belief, and particularly with that side? Yeah,
it's hard to put a finger on it. I know a lot of people speak about it, and a lot of people around down the border down here probably think it's a lot of bull. And I won't say the word, but I've only been part of it a couple of times on the comebacks, but everyone talks about it. It's not over till the fat lady sings, and a lot of those guys, like your Cameron Smiths, your Billy Slaters, your Jonathan Durstons, they always speak about it in Origin camps, and I feel like when you've got guys like that pumping you up, and then you've got guys like Wayne and Mel giving you that extra boost, you just want to go for a 10-foot wall for them. And I think that's sometimes you just don't even think about your injuries or think about the pain that you're in. You just keep going and going. And I think the players get around it and it drives them that little bit more.
Yeah, seeing the emotion, which you don't often see from Wayne Bennett, showed just how significant that period was.
It was massive to be able to win in Queensland and celebrate with our fans and the team and the staff. Like you said, he doesn't smile a whole heap, Wayne, but he was very happy in the sheds, I can give you that.
Had a bit of a dance too, I think, the big fella.
Old Clint Eastwood, yep.
Yeah, what was that moment like where you just looked around that dressing room, and obviously as a senior and influential leader of that team, the character, how proud you were, that must have been special. It was like a shoulder, like a release of the shoulders, Being dubbed the worst Origin team, I felt like it was a bit of pressure on myself to be able to get us out of that hole, and just looking around the group of how young our crew were and some of the boys that have never obviously tasted Origin games before, to be able
defy the odds and just sit around and be able to soak that in with all the players. Yeah, it was very special, and the celebrations was even better.
Yeah, yippee, yippee, yeah. Sing it, yeah. Oh, Mick, come on, it's okay.
It's all right. It's okay.
I'd imagine a pretty significant moment in your career. Where does it sit?
I think it probably sits up at the top, to be honest with you, Mick.
Yeah.
Winning the series, winning the comp that year, and then winning the Wally Lewis for the series. I don't think I could top that, other than if I got the opportunity to win a Dally M. But I think that ship sailed now, so I think that was probably one of my, I'll have to go down as one of my best years that I've had, and yeah, it was just something I can't really put a price on. It was special.